Uja, greetings. I am Sunu Sedna Asra, along with Shems Nefertem. Welcome to our early morning ancient Egyptian devotional, dedicated to Goddess Net in all her mystic forms, gods and goddesses, derived from her transcendental essence. The liturgy, which you will be able to see on screen, is recited in the ancient Egyptian language, the Metu Neter. The English and Brazilian Portuguese translations is provided for you. You can see these translations on screen directly below the hieroglyphic text transliteration. Or you are also welcome to listen quietly in a contemplative mode. Following the devotional, the comedic recitation of the liturgy, and meditation practice, we will have a brief wisdom teaching by Sehu Khepera Ankh, leader and priest of the Metu Neter Temple of Net. Before we begin, please remember to mute all devices. We will now begin. Presented on the screen at the moment is a stone-carved depiction of the facing pylons, the Temple of Net, from the statue of Hanat. On the left and right sides are the pylons in which one of the symbols of Goddess Net sits above the papyrus standard. Her emblem is her two arrows crossed and tied to her shield. Within this place, the temple. Behind the emblems of Net, on both sides are the flags, which mean Neter, divinity. In the center of the pylons at the bottom is the opening to the temple, and above that, the perimeter structure, which symbolizes the four equilateral planes of the universe. The mystic number 4, and above that, at the very top, the Aket symbol. The Aket symbol for the initiates, the emergence of the spirit consciousness. Net Nesu Metu Neter Jedef Nesu Hetep Dinet Berkeru Menket Mert En Hepset Net En Kaen Gary Heper Tep SSN Emhet Ne Ina Ren F Jeta
Net Nesut Metu Neter Inem Jedef Nesut Hetep Dinet Berkeru Menket Mert En Hepset Net En Kaen Gary Heper SSN Emhet Ne Ina Ren F Jeta
Net Nesu Metu Neter Jedef Nesu Hetep Dinet Berkeru Menget Mert En Hepset Net En Kaen Gary Heper Tep SSN Emhet Ne Inat Ren F Jeta
Net Nesut Metu Neter Inem Jedef nesut hetep jinet pekiru. Minkert mit im heb set neb in kain. Geri habe hetep ssen im het net. Inat len efjeta.
Net nesumer puneter ine. Jedef nesu hetepti net perkeri. Menget mert en hepset net en kain. Geri heppertep ssn en het net. Inat ren efjeta.
Net nesut mi puneterhem ineb. Jedef nesut hetep jinet pekiru. Minkert mit im heb set neb in kain. Geri habe hetep ssen im het net. Inat len efjeta.
Net nesumer puneter ine. Jedef nesu hetepti net perkeri. Menket mert en hepset net en kain. Yeri heppertep ssn en het net. Inat ren efjeta.
Net nesut mi puneterhem ineb. Jedef nesut hetep jinet pekiru. Minket met im heb set neb in kain. Gary happy hetep ssen im het net. Inat len efjeta.
Dualamo. Kerepuber Feberuakuti Anate Chekera Nefer Nebuben
Dua hamun. Shit F uben F en hiru akuti. Anetesh herke ra. Nefeneb ubem.
Dualamo Kerepuber Feberuakuti Anate Chekera Nefer Nebuben
Dua hamun. Shit F uben F en hiru akuti. Anetesh herke ra. Nefeneb ubem.
Dualamo Kerefuben Feberuakuti Anate Chekera Never, never
Dua hamun. Shit F uben F en hiru akuti. Anetesh herke ra. Nefeneb ubem.
Kerefuben Feberuakuti Anate Chekera Never, never
Dua amun. Shit F uben F en hiru akuti. Anetesh herke ra. Nefeneb ubem.
We chant the Kurt session. Yaf Uru. Suti Hetep Neperkelu. Bihi Eskalu Amamunet Efroshepsi. Etnet.
Nesuti Hetep Net Pirkeru. Didi Eska Wab Amuneb Nefeshepsi. Hetnet. Hetep.
Nesuti Hetep Neperkelu. Bihi Eskalu Amamunet Efroshepsi. Etnet.
Nesut di Hetep Net Pirkeru. Didi Eska Wab Amun Neb Nefeshepsi. Hetnet. Hetep.
Nesuti Hetep Neperkelu. Bihi Eskalu Amamunet Efroshepsi. Etnet.
Nesut di Hetep Net Pirkeru. Didi Eska Uab Amun Neb Nefeshepsi. Hetnet. Hetep.
Mesuti Hetep Neperkelu. Dihi Eskaua Amunet Nefershepsi Etnet
Nesut di Hetep Net Pirkeru. Didi Eska Uab Amun Neb Nefeshepsi. Hetnet. Hetep.
Dua Em Shamsu and Neberger Sehu Khepera Dua Asar Nebrastam Baut Neteru At Ami Netakert Anatet Hir Kikenti Amentet Un Nefer Abdu Matentu Bai Ku Anek Arati Estal Seteka Sekert Aku Sari Nas Ubet Center Set Mkala Def Seat Neter Oni Entet Pena Yash Neter Asar Erdit Endek in Ari Heri Pena Herme Endes Ari Heru Aus Uatepi Ari Sech Aba Ua Neter Abu Pen La Asa Abu Pen Asa Spur and Heru Beat Pert Nahas Sa Uajit Pa Neter Asa Ali Heru Et and Aset Abu Netuja Medujeya Aset Sem Uja Setep Saher Amseti Enti Amsa Asar Sa Amset Asar Amset Medujeya Nebethet Hapsheta Ari Besa Her Happy Enti Sa Asar Sa Happy Asar Hu Happy Medujeyan Netseduara Semeshahru Neb Ari Makeb en Duamutef Enti Amsa Asar Sa Duamutef Asar Pu Duamutef Medujeyan Circuit Inkake Sekedet Sa Ru Neb Ari Maket en Kwebsuna Entet Amsa Asar Sa Kwebsunek Asar Pu Kwebsunek Yamatera Emuen Duacheta Yanatera Emuen Duacheta Nebuchadnezzar Jed Anatet Het Asar Putra Makti Sake Setu Sakake
Nebejer Jed Anetej Hurt Asar Putra Magdi Saki Setu Sakaki
Nebuchadnezzar Jed Anatet Het Asar Putra Makti Sake Setu Sakake
Nebejer Jed Anetej Hurt Asar Putra Magdi Saki Setu Sakaki
Nebuchadnezzar Jed Anatet Het Asar Putra Makti Sake Setu Sakake
Nebejer Jed Anetej Hurt Asar Putra Magdi Saki Setu Sakaki
Nebuchadnezzar Jed Anatet Het Asar Putra Makti Sake Setu Sakake
Nebejer Jed Anetej Hurt Asar Putra Magdi Saki Setu Sakaki
Ari Jenseker Ari Duaka Ekal Uwashu duality, Sehu Khepera Ankh.
Net, net, duanet, sefek, keras, senhu es.
Net, duality, Sehu Khepera Ankh.
Net, net, duanet, sefek, keras, senhu es.
Net, duality, Sehu Khepera Ankh.
Net, net, duanet, sefek, keras, senhu es.
Net, duality, Sehu Khepera Ankh.
Net, net, duanet, sefek, keras, senhu es. Amun, mut, consul. Amun, mut, consul. Amun, mut, consul. Amun, mut, consul. Amun, rapta. Amun, rapta. Amun, rapta. Amun, rapta. Asar, aset, hiru. Asar, aset, hiru. Asar, aset, hiru. Asar, aset, hiru. Hiru, mak, hiru. Hiru, mak, hiru. Hiru, mak, hiru. Hiru, mak, hiru. Accept, accept, accept. Accept, accept, accept. Accept, accept, accept. Ama au en rang nebet. Ankh oja seneb. Ari neteru. Ama au en rang nebet. Ankh oja seneb. Ari neteru. Ama au en rang nebet. Ankh oja seneb. Ari neteru. Ama au en rang nebet. Ankh oja seneb. Ari neteru. Duara. Nuk hatien kepheru. Nuk hatien kepheru. Nuk hatien kepheru. Nuk hatien kepheru. Heteru, 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 heteru,
Watu heru, do watu keru,
dua tu heru, dua tu heru,
do watu heru, do watu keru,
dua tu heru, dua tu heru,
do watu heru, do watu keru,
dua tu heru, dua tu heru,
do watu heru, do watu keru,
dua tu heru, dua tu heru,
nuk nebejer,
nuk nebecher,
nuk nebejer,
nuk nebecher,
nuk nebejer,
nuk nebecher,
nuk nebejer,
nuk nebecher,
nefer, tra, aton,
nefer remtra en aton,
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 makeru, ba, nebejer,
akeru emba nebecher.
makeru, ba, ne,
Makeru Emba Nebeje.
Makeru Ba Nebeje.
Makeru Emba Nebeje.
Makeru Ba Nebeje.
Makeru Emba Nebeje.
Nuk Uba Kuwa.
Nuk Uwa 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 Kuwa.
Nukmat, 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 Nukmat,
Nukmaat. 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 Nukmaat.
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 Nut,
Nut.
Nut,
Nut.
Nut,
Nut.
Nut,
Nut.
Newt.
Newt.
Asa, asa, sa, sa, asa,
Asa. 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 Asa.
asa, sa, 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 asa,
Asa. 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 Asa.
sa, 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 asa,
Asa. 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 Asa.
sa, asa, 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 asa,
Asa. Asa. Asa, asa, asa.
Ete au Ankh, Jed Uas Hena, Nefu Erkebetu, Embaat, Dejasu, Sunu Hotep, Aset, Uas Suja Eru, Suja Menut, Nebu Sen, Efset, Efsen, Asa Aset, Etepi, Suja Auitu Yasor, Nesheshu Nebu, M.U. Shemu Metu Tau Sep Nebu Nesteta Ua Menti Eru Kut Teken Anat Tesu Ken Ena Sefa Para Digit Kat Ena Asar Beta Keperu Medut Ra Kat Nefi Asar Keperu Wahai Uwaker. Nuk Aset, Perke Nayet, Red Enau, Seter Sa Medu and Jeuti, Hetep Maat, Empet Ta Atert, Aset Neter Nefer, Pu Ankh Seski, S. De A Ament, Sa Enken, Pu F. Nn, Au F. Ready F. Nepket, Dit Hetep, Fr, Ft, Ent, Nf, Tawi, Uai, Uaker. Eru Makeru,
Heru Makeru,
Eru Makeru,
Heru Makeru,
Eru Makeru,
Heru Makeru,
Eru Makeru,
Heru Makeru.
Nera Mesra Nerai Mesra Nerai Mesra Nerai Mesra Nukepra Mduau Ra Emahau Temu Ami Meseri
Nuk Khepera Ankh Ra en Ahau Temu Ami Mashiru.
Kepra Mduau Ra Emahau Temu Ami Meseri
Nuk Khepera Ankh Ra en Ahau Temu Ami Mashiru.
Nukepra Mduau Ra Emahau Temu Ami Meseri
Nuk Khepera Ankh Ra en Ahau Temu Ami Mashiru.
Uahai Uaka Ses Neter Neter Mu Neter Ta Jeseri Zisheri Neter Neter Mu Neter Ta Jeseri Zisheri Neter Neter Mu Neter Tajeseri, Zisheri, Neter, Neter, U, Neter, Tajeseri, Zisheri, Washeri, Watef, Yeah. Uh, Ma. Uh, Peace, 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 peace. Hetep, Dua, Hetep.
Dua, Hetep.
Uja, greetings everyone. So today I'm going um to go further with the theme of Hetep that we started last week. I pulled up some photos to show you, to augment what we discussed last week. So turn those on now. But before we do that, just a brief mention that on February 8th, we'll have an Amduat chanting session. It'll be February 8th. It'll be from 6:30 to 8. A special evening of divine chanting for health, well-being, and enlightenment. And what's going to happen is I pulled out I'm in a process of pulling out some lines of the Amduat text. And then we'll go through the chanting of those texts that relate to the theme of the meeting. We'll also do ancient Egyptian breathing exercises and movements of the Amduat. And it's free to everyone, and it's something that you should want to be a part of because of what we're working with. And so, you'll get a more detailed explanation during the day, during that time. Loose-fitting clothing, you know, plain, or if you want with comedic markings on it, but no worldly markings like Nike or Adidas or Coca-Cola or any advertising or anything like that. This flyer was put together by Sunu Satnahas. He did it on his own volition, actually. He put it together and then he texted me what he had done. And then we worked on it together. Okay, so February 8th, special session of the Amduat chanting session. So now let's go to here. Let's see. Okay, so first one we're going to pull up is this is found at there's a special chapel at the temple of Medinat Habu before you actually go into the temple. And it's dedicated to a female personality and the divinities therein. And when I went there, I don't know if it's still there, but when I went there, like in a walkway to go into the area, there's this large Hetep slab. And the Hetep slab is actually shaped into the hieroglyph for Hetep. And that's where we're getting the concept, the idea of the union of the opposites. As you can see, there are two birds here, and then there's some cake. I mean, etched into the stone, and this is made from very hard stone. It appears to be like black granite. And then you have some cakes and breads. And what you're to do is you're to pour water over the elements. And so these are like static offerings that are inscribed. And then the water flows down, and then you collect it, and you see all of these elements come together. So everything comes together. So these two birds represent the male and the female coming together and and blending, and not from a physical perspective of a man and a woman coming together, but the female and energy aspects of the personality come together, and then what you experience is androgyny. And then if you go beyond androgyny, you experience the transcendental nature. So this is the idea of the Hetep offering. And when you see these slabs, usually they have the offering formulas written on them. And you hear that the spout is in the shape of a cake. And then we have this one, and this is found in the city of Ptah, Ptah. You can see more clearly here the inscriptions. And again, you have the elements carved on the stone. And the operator of the ritual, the priest or priestess, again pours the water and it collects. And it's multiplicity blending into a oneness, meaning you're going beyond the apparent duality to discover the essence of spirit, the oneness. And this one gives you an idea of the width. Yeah, these stones are very heavy. These Hetep slabs are very heavy. They're made from from very dense stone. So that goes to how they were able to do this and all those issues. And you also may see them that this is an offering table, actually. And here you have a vessel, you have vessels, and this is a libation vessel. And this ritual is also related to Hetep. And here's the hieroglyph for Hetep is written here. You can see the shape of the top of the glyph is the same shape as the spout in the Hetep slab at the Medinat Habu. And this is pronounced Hetep. Now under it you have tayets, which are symbols of female power. And then you have the Jed, which is the backbone of Asar. So you have a Set and Asar. The Jed relates to the higher spiritual centers of a human being. And then this is what and this is carved on a wall in that same chapel I was talking about earlier. And again, you have an offering table. And you have, this is an incense burner. You have the head of Heru. Then you have the uh the ball of incense here. You have the flame. And you toss the incense into the flame and it flares up and the smoke flares up. But also, if you go to the right place, you can actually find actual incense holders. And this is in the British Museum. And you can see this is where the incense is held. It's held in a shenu, means the circumscribed aspect of the spirit. And they will hold it and perform the ritual. So the power of Heru is behind the ritual. And that's the power of spirit-like consciousness. You can see where the flame would be held here, part of it is broken off. And in the same museum, you can find actual offering tables with the actual elements. And these are the vessels that they would use: water, oil, and other things, one of which I'll share with you in a moment. And you can see the offering table is shaped in a Hetep slab, the Hetep. So it's an Hetep offering. And therefore, the offering is related to the elimination of the misapprehension of duality as the essential reality. So when the opposites come together, duality dissolves, and you discover the underlying essence that is the template upon which duality appears. And if you do this offering long enough, you do it hundreds of thousands of times, then something occurs within you and you start to depolarize yourself and discover the oneness that is the essence of from which the duality appears. And have a different angle so you can see it from a different angle. And you can see here there's a short formula here. Oops. Uh, there's a short formula here that's written on it. And it's pretty much the same on both sides. So what we're going to do now, if we go back here, we're going to take a look at this formula. So let's stop share and then share the document. So here it is. So I excise the side on the left. On the side on the right says the same thing, but there's one difference. And we don't have time to go through all the technicalities. So, berkeru ta sinu artet and es ankh uat geriheb ya dirt ya. So the term berkeru is written here. And berkeru means a spoken offering or an invocation offering. Invocation offering. Oh, okay, sorry, the contextual aspect. An invocation offering of bread, food, and milk for Tao, the divine, to cause life and oneness. And oneness in the divine. So let's start over. An invocation offering of bread, food, and milk for Tao, the divine, to cause life and oneness in the divine for the lector priest, the one who reads the liturgy and exalts your name. An offering of glorifications to come to this place of oneness in the divine, glorifications to come to this place. So it's an invocation offering. So the Hetep offering is the invocation offering, the spoken offering. And the spoken offering is of two types. You can do it with the mouth, and you can also speak with the mind. Ta is written here, so that's bread. And sinu is written here, so that's food stuff. So bread and food. So that's what you would bring to the altar. And you will lay it before the image of the divinity. Adat is written here, and Adat means milk. And in looking at some of the communities that still work with milk today, mostly it comes from cattle, from so cow's milk. It's some of the communities in West Africa, like the Maasai tribes as well. They still use milk and stuff like that. So it's a milk offering. So you're coming with bread and food and milk for Tao, for the divinity. This term S here, it it depends on the context. It can mean cause or is a feminine connotation, she or her. In this context, it means cause. So you're bringing these offerings to cause something. You're there's an intention behind the offering. And what you're doing is that this is an invocation offering to cause Ankh. And Ankh relates to life. But what it really means is that it means to cause immortality. Yet life here relates to immortality. And we were talking about the Amduat text earlier in Division 7, MP7 of the Amduat text. There's a whole extrapolation, a whole distillation on immortality, and how to achieve it, and the spiritual metaphysical process to go through. So here Ankh relates to, so you're giving these offerings to cause so that the divinity can bestow upon you the grace and the blessing of immortality. And not the immortality of the physical body, because that would be untenable from the perspective of mystical experience and hieroglyphs philosophy. Does not support immortality of the body. So what it relates to is a discovery of the soul. And when you become inculcated with the nature of the soul and you discover your living soul essence nature, you have discovered immortality. And that means that you have given up duality. You have given up the opposites. And that's why you're offering the opposites to the divine so that you can receive. Nature of soul, wisdom, and experience, and abiding in soul nature. And that constitutes immortality. Immortality and oneness. Because remember, you're dissolving the opposites. That's what the term uati means. Oneness Tao. So to make this person, to make yourself one. And what that relates to is the oneness of the divine self. So immortality and infinity is what you're giving the offering to the divine to receive. In metaphysical praxis, this practice is done in repetition. It's done many times. You just don't do it one time. It's a spiritual evolutionary process that you have to go through. It's important to understand that it's a spiritual process that takes years to accomplish. It's not something you do once or twice and then that's it. It takes dedicated practice over years. So you're giving the invocation offering of bread, of food, of milk, cow's milk, to to discover the immortality of being and the fullness of spirit. And that's what oneness relates to. And the person who's making the offering, so the person who works the ritual at the altar that you just saw, the offering table, is called a Gary Heb. This term is Gary Heb. And a Gary Heb is a type of priest. He's a or she is a lector priest. So it's the priest that reads the liturgy at the ritual. So have the sacred books and read from the books and things like that. So this Gary Heb is through the offering discovering Ua and Ankh, infinity and immortality. And he does so through the reading of the books, but also the giving of exaltations. And that's what Ya means. Ya, exaltation. Singing praise to the divine, worship of the divine. And is doing it for Der. Der means to be able to come to this place. So here is Der. And the place that you are coming to is this place, the oneness, the eternal. And so you're coming to this place, and that's why you're giving the here Ya again, exaltations. So that the offering appears benign, appears just as a ritual. Okay. But the implications are profound and vast when the ritual is done properly and done with a controlled mind and with a purified heart. So if you do the ritual long enough and you enter certain meditative states, you receive the grace and the blessing of the divine because you are through the ritual, you are giving up your erroneous concept and your unconscious theory that duality, the plane of time and space, is an abiding reality. So you've come to that realization, and you're giving that up. And what you're getting in return for that is immortality and oneness, the infinite divine. So that's the meaning, the mystery of Hetep. So when you say Hetep to someone, what you're really doing is that you're wishing them goodwill in their path to self-discovery of the eternal and the discovery of immortality. That's what you're really doing. It doesn't mean peace like it doesn't mean peace like when people say peace out or I'm at peace because, I'm with the right person or have the right job. It doesn't mean that. The peace that is referring to is the calm mind that is reflecting the spirit, the immortal nature of self. So that's it for today. So remember our February 8th program where we'll be doing the Amduat uh, chanting ritual for health, well-being, and enlightenment. And so that'll be it. It'll be the first time, in many, many years that a group have gotten together to channel their energies towards this very sacred text that is found in the mostly in what are referred to as tombs in the Valley of the Kings, but you also find the text on sarcophagi and you find them on segments of them on papyrus paper. So there's a benefit for who all are there and for humanity. Until we meet again, dua, Hetep.